Hi, hello, welcome to Febby's Home, where we go over my art journey. Today, we're going to work on heads. This video is to show you my progress and how I've tried to improve. Starting off with what my heads looked like previously. My style is very stylized, so these drawings won't be heavily based in reality. As you can see, the shading is very basic, if not non-existent, and the eyes are very long. I also don't know how to draw lips in my drawing. I don't know why, but I really struggle with them. They just look wrong. For a while, the proportions were wrong, like very, very wrong. The jaw starts way too early, and the head just isn't long enough. This issue is much less apparent in my more recent drawings than it used to be, but it's still noticeable. Now, moving on to my most recent head studies, more specifically, my skull studies. I started off studying skulls, and only then did I properly notice the proportions of the head. I did find this a bit difficult to an extent. Usually my eyes obviously don't fit in the shape of the orbits. Because of this, I haven't a clue on where the eyes should actually be. Do they take up the entire orbit, closer to the nose, as far away from the nose as they can go? Honestly, I'm still not sure. I did a copy of the skull after tracing it. In this, I put the features I noticed most, such as the separation of the jaw and the purple bit under the eyes. This should help make certain features more memorable for me. When I return to my usual stylized art, I notice that the facial features still aren't quite right. You can see in the skull reference, the mouth should be where the head is still straight, but I put it where the jaw is coming down towards the chin. As you can see, I fixed this issue here. I've also started shading more appropriately for the head's features. All in all, I think studying the skull was very beneficial to me. It helped me see proportions properly. At this point, I've only done front-facing studies though, so that's definitely something I need to work on. However, the most fun part of my journey into head anatomy was the next part, shading. I started off with basic shading for light and shadows irrespective of skin tone or lighting. However, it was now when I realized I needed an actual reference to learn proper shading. For these drawings, I focused on colors and getting the lighting right. None of them are perfect, but they're a start. Special mention to these two drawings. For the leftmost drawing, I really like the colors. It was my first head shading study, and I got a lot of good feedback on it when I posted it online. To anyone that gave me feedback on that post, thank you so much. Your feedback was super helpful. For the rightmost drawing, I again focused on colors, but also drawing her features appropriately based on the reference. Last time, I got feedback saying I hadn't done that, so I put extra emphasis on getting it right this time. I mapped out where each feature stops on the head, and at times I moved the drawing over the reference so I could see where the features were wrong. I'll probably try to get feedback again later for these drawings. I definitely think that focusing specifically on shading helped. It helped with my colours, but also reinforcing my memories on how to draw the skull and where everything goes. I do believe that I need to go back to the skull and learn more angles, but that'll be for another time. Overall, my advice is to start on the skulls, even if for just a little bit. Then look more at shading. Finally, post your studies online or in an art forum with the reference to get feedback from experienced artists. Comparing my art from before I did the anatomy studies and after I did it, there is an obvious improvement. Okay, so that was the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it was helpful for you. If you did, please like and maybe even subscribe if you're interested in my art journey. I post monthly art check-ins where I evaluate my progress and smaller videos where I focus on specific things based on the goals that I set. All in all, that was head anatomy. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.